Hey FTM Transtastic, my name is Luke, and this week we are talking about having kids. First of all, I want to apologize for not uploading a video last week. I was back home in Hong Kong, and I was with my partner, and I was with my family, and I didn't really just have time to actually film a video because I'm from a family of 6. It's very busy, it's very loud, I get very awkward filming in front of other people, so I just didn't have the time to just sit down and film a video, even though I really wanted to film a video on last week's topic. But I still wanted to talk about the topic, so this week I'm going to be talking about last week's topic, which is having kids, and also how transitioning is for me in my country. Now, I've always wanted children, but I'm really nowhere near that stage of life where I'd be able to have children and financially support a family at the moment. I'm way too young for that. But obviously, being trans, you have to think more about whether or not you want children, because taking hormones has a chance of decreasing your fertility, and that can be long term. So obviously I've had conversations and I've had to think about whether or not I want children, more so than someone that is my age in general. Back when I was younger, I always wanted to be a parent. The only thing I don't want is I don't want my children to be biologically related to me. Now, the reason I don't want to have biological children is because physically I do not produce the gametes that I would like to. And this is only for me, this isn't for anyone else, and I don't feel this way about anyone else. I would not be comfortable with having a child that is biologically mine if I needed to acquire someone else's sperm in order to create that child. So because of that, because of the gametes I produce, because I have a female reproductive system and I have female gametes, even though I am male and identify as male, and if I were to have a child, even if I were to have my gametes frozen or whatever, I would still have this mental image in my head, or I would still feel in some way that I'm not my child's father. And if the child is biologically mine, that would mean that I would be the child's mother. And like, I know that sounds super like internal transphobia, that sounds super binary, and that's just a really bad way of thinking of it. And I know that. I know logically that that is not true at all, that literally it's just some cells combined, and, you know, at the end of the day, if I were to use my gametes and I were to have a child with my gametes that's biologically mine, that doesn't make me the child's mother or whatever. And, you know, in saying that, it's kind of transphobic, and I know, I completely understand all of it, but I cannot for the life of me change how I feel about that. I've tried to sit down and really think about why I feel the way I do, and I think for me it just comes from dysphoria, because at the end of the day I still deal with a lot of dysphoria and a lot of jealousy that I was not born cis. So I just see myself as infertile, because that just makes me feel better. Having biological children for me would just be incredibly dysphoria inducing and uncomfortable, and I will be having hysterectomy sometime in the near distant future, so that physically won't be an option for me. Even ignoring the fact that I've been on hormones for 3 years, and if I wanted to have biological children, I'd have to have my eggs harvested unless I were to carry naturally. No way in hell that's happening. I'm not going to go off hormones in order to preserve my gametes when I feel uncomfortable using them anyway, and the process of acquiring them is a very taxing and difficult process. Also the cost, it's really expensive, so it's really not an option for me. It's not something that I've ever really even considered. I just don't know whether I'll be adopting or whether I'll be going down the path of IVF. It depends on, you know, my partner and what they want. Either option for me would be fine. At the end of the day, my children will be my children, and I will be their father, and that's all that matters to me. Doesn't mean that they're not my child, doesn't mean that I won't love them, doesn't mean that I won't take care of them, and really, I can't wait for that. I'm really excited to be a father, even though it's, you know, definitely several years off for me. But that's something I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about with kids.